Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for, this is your September bonus reading, and we are going to jump right in here. You have this Maiden card. It says, a new relationship blossoms. You have this Gate card. It says, a barrier keeps you from your goal. So we'll have to see what that barrier is, but definitely could be new love coming in for you at this time. And all the air signs had really good readings. So you already have the sun, you have the star. The sun and the star in a reading can be fame and fortune. It doesn't mean you're going to be famous necessarily, although it could. But it's really good for, just getting attention in general or standing out this month in some way. So really nice. Like I said, the air signs have definitely had the best readings out of pretty much everyone. So, again, that could be a good thing, could be a result of Jupiter and Gemini as well. That could be why things are going so much better for air signs. I'm not sure. I actually don't know, but, that's kind of like my theory on it. And again, if you were to ask me like who I thought would have the best reading, I would say Capricorn. We have Pluto going back to 29 degrees of Capricorn, which I think is, going to be a little bit challenging for most people. But Capricorn has already been through it, so that's what I would have said. But really, again, it's interesting that the air signs have had pretty much the best readings. So you start with the star, and the star, starting as a star kind of says that you are the star at this time, or there could be really positive attention coming in for you. It's also just a great energy, I think, for Libra to get the star because, it's a card of like renewal and nurturing yourself and taking care of yourself, which I think are all great things for Libras to do. So I think this month, would be a great time for you to be in Empress energy, to nurture yourself, take care of yourself. Pamper yourself, all that other good stuff. I also think it would be just looking around here at the table and what's going on, I think it would be a great month for you to ask for whatever it is that you want. She has these ripples that are going out onto the water here, and that is the pool of universal consciousness. So sometimes I feel that the star is just about asking the universe for whatever you want, and I think it would be a great time for you to do that. Your crossing energy is the King of Cups. The crossing energy can be what hurts you or helps you in a Celtic cross. And having the King of Cups as a crossing energy can represent your emotions. He is sitting in the middle of the ocean, and he is exploring his emotions to a very deep level. And you have that barrier card that says a barrier is keeping you from your goal. The star would be a pretty big goal. The star is like having a North Star, having that like one thing that you really want to accomplish in your life. So your emotional connection to like what you want to accomplish could be very important for you this month. Again, I wouldn't say it's good or bad. I would just say pay attention to it. It's like if you're feeling negative about being able to accomplish your star, whatever that is for you, then you're probably going to get a negative result, right? So the King of Cups says, explore why do you feel negative about being able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. If you explore why, the reason why you feel that way, you might discover like maybe you were raised with money blocks, or maybe someone said to you when you were like 2 years old that you couldn't do something, or whatever it is. So when we explore it, we can correct it and then we can get around it. So, I feel like the King of Cups is really saying it would be a really good time for you to do that. Next, this is a new deck. These new decks, they stick flat to the table. But in the area of your thoughts, you have the sun. Really good. The sun in the area of your thoughts is just about optimism. It just says that you could be feeling very optimistic this month, and there could be a lot of opportunity for you to think optimistically as well. So I would just practice optimism, right, and be more positive. The sun is really a combination of the sun and the moon. The sun has these like straight rays, but also has these squiggly rays on it. And the sun represents a combination of the two energies. So we go from, on the Fool's Journey, we get to the moon. We have to go through the moon, which is like a period of fantasies, illusions, not seeing things clearly, maybe a period of fear. And then the sun comes up and it kind of says you have overcome those feelings, and now you are seeing things clearly. So there's a lot going on in this reading about your feelings. There is a little bit of love here, but I'm kind of wondering if the love stuff that's showing up is really more talking about your emotional state and how your emotions are going to affect your month. But again, it looks really good because you have the Sun card here. Next, in the area of your foundation, you have the Seven of Pentacles. I mean, say it with me, Libra. Is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Every single reading I do for you, you get this card. So, I think that a lot of you have clearly been going through a period of time where you have been, kind of looking or examining the things that you have been working on in your life, and you're just kind of figuring out what's worth it, what's not worth it. Over the next few months, you have the Ten of Swords. And we're going to talk about that Ten of Swords more in a second. But, the Ten of Swords could say that you are ending something and you're going to something else. I'm not too worried. Personally, I don't think the Ten of Swords is that bad of a card. To me, the worst card in the tarot is the Nine of Swords and, not even the Tower. And here's the other thing I would say is you go from the World to the Ten of Swords. The World is completion. The Ten of Swords could just say, could just represent completion. And sorry, I got bit by something back here. it itches. But anyway, I think that some of you are kind of just moving on from something that hasn't worked in your life, and that's it. Next, in the area of the past position is what you are moving past. You have this adventure card and this regret. So the Ten of Swords could also be regrets, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But the Ten of Swords would be a good card for regrets because it would say that you are seeing how something not working out for you was a blessing in disguise. So it looks, this kind of gives me maybe like false start vibes in the past. You also have the Page of Pentacles. The Ace of Wands traditionally is kind of like the card, can be the card of a false start, especially if it shows up in reverse. But I kind of just intuitively get that some of you have experienced a false start maybe over the last year or so. And, maybe you thought it was going to be an adventure, especially if this was a false start with a person. You have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles, one thing I'm hearing is like all talk, So you could have been dealing with a person who was like all talk and no action, or, maybe you were just talking to a person and it just never kind of was grounded in reality. Again, it seems to me with that the Sun card, the Sun, again, Moon, Sun, right? So it's like you were in a situation that was the Moon. And now I think you're getting into a situation that is the Sun. Not real. So I kind of feel like that's where this reading is going. And just saying that you were in a situation that was all talk, and now you're moving on to something that's more realistic. And again, this doesn't even have to just be love. This could be maybe you had a business idea, or maybe you got a new job and it was just all talk, right? And so I think you're getting something real. Next, in the area of the very near future, you have this overcoming challenges. It says, a triumph will bring great changes. Let yourself be open to victory. The emotions, right? Like look at your emotions and look at the emotions that stop the victories and, correct it is really what this reading is probably saying. You have this underworld card, and the underworld card, again, another card of exploring the underworld, your under emotions, right? It says, awaken your inner witch to maximize your potential and connect to universal energies. I would say this is like an amazing reading for manifestation. I think we're in an amazing time for manifestation, but, one thing I would say is definitely this time for a manifestation is kind of highlighted by our emotions and our, I would kind of correct that, and I would say that really it's about our heart. We're entering into a very heart-based time, so anything you can do to connect with your heart will probably lead to a victory or an accomplishment. This card does say a victory, but we have an accomplishment right here. So in the area of your very near future, you have the World. The World can represent an accomplishment or achieving something, and also can represent completing something, completing a cycle, ending a cycle. This woman in the middle of the World here is a sorceress. She has two wands. One wand is like the magician's wand. She can create things with her words, with her powers of manifestation, whatever it is. And the other wand would be more like actions. She is able, so she mixes the energy. She uses both things to create what she wants. She doesn't just sit there and imagine things. She also takes action. So she does both things to be able to create her new world. And I feel that a lot of you could be creating a new reality or changing your world in some way, but I would definitely mix together the energies with the World card. Next, and we're going to go here first. In the area of this is your outcome position. You have this Night Moon. It says shadow work. The whole entire reading is basically, talking about shadow work, emotional work, whatever you want to call it. You have this Moonrise. It says cleansing. It does seem to be a very cleansing time. We are in Virgo season, and Virgo is all about cleansing, kind of reanalyzing all that other stuff. One thing I will say is that, 2024, this year's Virgo season, I think is more about kind of completing something that you've been avoiding completing. And that does not have to be a bad thing either. It's like sometimes I think we have good things in life that we know will get us ahead, like if we finish a project, or if you're like writing a book or something like that, or if you're starting a business. That it can be a good thing, and we can still be struggling with resistance to complete it, right? And so I think this year's Virgo season, based off the astrology, is really about kind of doing those things that we've all been avoiding, so that we can bring something down to earth, right? Even the moon, I say all the time, you don't have the moon here, but I'm just saying, because of the sun, right? The moon is all about not stopping and taking the moon and bringing it down to earth. So I feel that here. And again, cleansing, working with your emotions could be a good thing. You have the Ten of Swords. I kind of feel like you're seeing how something not working is a blessing in disguise, or was a blessing in disguise. He's making this symbol right here with his hand, and it's the same symbol that the Hierophant is making, which you have the Hierophant in the area of your future feelings. So there's kind of like a connection between the next few months and your future feelings, and this symbol represents a blessing. So a lot of you, I always look at the Ten of Swords as a blessing in disguise, because while it can represent rock bottom and something not working out in your life, he is also, he needs to get up off the ground and realize that something is dead, done, over with. Something is complete, and because it's complete, he needs to move on to the next stage. So you could be seeing how something that hasn't worked out was actually a blessing. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Ace of Cups. Really good. Even if you don't want love, the Ace of Cups this is your closest relationships, all your relationships. So you could be getting a lot of great energy from, the people that support you, or, the people that you do love in your life. And, it could just be a really good energy. Of course, you have that love card, the first card, whatever it said a new relationship blossoms. And the Ace of Cups can be a big love offer coming into your life. You also have the Hierophant, the Lovers. The King of Cups could be a lover entering into your life. Even the Page of Pentacles could be, a new person trying to communicate with you, even though they're showing up in the past. So again, I would be open to communication. A lot of people have been getting these messages of action, right? Especially in love, like making sure that a person isn't just saying things and then it doesn't go anywhere. My thing with the astrology right now, especially with love, is we have Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces it's like the fantasy is very attractive. So it's really easy to get stuck in something where you're just talking to a person, but it never actually gets started. So I would make sure that you're not just getting sucked into a fantasy, that there is actually a little bit of reality in the situation. This is more important for those of you that are getting into something long distance, for example. Like if you meet a person from a distance, or if you meet a person where you don't get to see them very much, then again, you need to do something to make sure that there is some sort of reality. I've been saying this since like 2015, that with Neptune and Pisces, if you're going to get into something, there need to be like time boundaries, and you don't have to this isn't about you forcing something to work. It's about just not getting stuck in the fantasy, right? So if you're in something long distance, like maybe you need to say to the person, okay, like we need to have a realistic plan of how we're going to meet, and that needs to happen in the next 3 months, or whatever the time frame is for you. Life is too short to waste time on someone that has no intentions of meeting, right? And I would just pay attention to that with this energy. Again, it doesn't look bad, but again, I think that this can happen to anyone. You have the Hierophant in the area of your future feelings. The Hierophant would say that you're feeling blessed. So, I feel a lot of you are kind of like feeling blessed. I also get something about learning here. So a lot of you could be in this position where you are learning something new, or you are open to learning something new, or you are kind of like expanding your mindset. And I think all of those things would be a really good idea for you, especially the expanding your mindset at this time, because again, we are definitely in a time of mindset expansion, and so all that would be good for you. Your outcome is the Lovers, so if you want love, this looks amazing. And the other reason I said the long distance thing is because of the world, and the world could be like a long distance connection, and so especially if you're attracting an Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or a Leo, or a Capricorn, definitely could be an Aquarius or a Leo, because you have the sun and the star showing up here as well, then I would say that, again, I would make sure that there's some reality to the connection. But this looks very good. I mean, these two people are being guided together by the higher self angel right here. So if you want love, looks really good. If you don't want love, you are clearly and even if you do, I feel that a lot of you with the Ace of Cups are attracting something that you will love, like a business or a job, or you're finally wrapping up your project, or and you're getting something started. So, like I said, I really like this reading so far. With the Star and the King of Cups, you have the Three of Cups, so definitely could be a celebration or a strong connection. The Three of Cups can say that you are, connecting with a person, and this could be like a past life person. So if you want love, then I would say this is definitely very positive for you. I would also say that it just seems to be a very good social month in general for everyone. And you have the Ace of Cups in the area of, socializing, more or less, the area of your closest relationships. So if you need energy, if you just need to get out of your head or whatever, like socializing would probably be a very good, very good way to get out of your head or to find answers or whatever the case may be. With the Sun card, you have the Death card. You can't make this up. The two pillars from the moon show up right here, and the sun is coming up between those two pillars. So you are definitely leaving behind a moon period, and I feel you are stepping into a sun period. It's just that simple. Even this little white rose on his banner there represents the light at the end of the tunnel. It's kind of like you are seeing the light, in some sort of situation, or you're kind of like birthing through something. Even the World card can represent birth, right? She's going through this portal in the middle of the card. When you think about it, when you left your mother, when you were born, you were in darkness, and then you came into the light, right? And so this reading, that the World to me is always a birth card, and so it seems to me like you are being birthed, from darkness into the light with this reading. It's pretty powerful. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Cups again. I think love should be your guide, especially you and Taurus, right? You're both ruled by Venus, and I would say that you and Taurus should definitely be listening to your heart the most. Now, here's the thing, is that what your heart is telling you to do might not be logical, which I think everybody is dealing with that challenge right now. It's literally the whole point of the time that we're in, is that it's like your head is telling you to do one thing, your heart is telling you to do something else, and the job of everyone right now is to follow their heart. So that's pretty much what I would be doing with that Ace of Cups. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady progress, but again, this kind of gives me the vibes of a person who's all talk. Knight of Pentacles is no movement. Knight of Pentacles is a person who's being overly cautious and who isn't making a move. I'm not really sure, I don't, it's kind of weird because I don't see it in the astrology, but I definitely see it in the cards, a lot of people have been getting these messages of being careful of a person who is all talk or who is being too cautious. I think it's okay to be cautious at first in a relationship, but if a person is being so cautious that you can't even meet them in person, right? Or if they're being so cautious that they are avoiding you, or they're trying to protect themselves too much, again, I would be very careful of that energy. And it's not saying anything negative about that person. It's just saying that person isn't right for you because they're not even letting you in. So again, I would definitely something I would pay attention to. With the World, you have the Temperance card. He is mixing these two cups together, and it's funny that I talked about those two different wands on the World card. So I feel that it would be an amazing time for you to kind of use both of your energies, manifestation and action, to get the things that you want and desire. Also, definitely could be a fire sign. You have a lot of fire, Leo twice, you have this, Sagittarius. So it could be a fire sign that's coming in for you. It could be any sign, general reading, but wouldn't surprise me if it was a person who had fire placements, like Leo or Sagittarius, or Leo rising, or whatever the case may be, right? With these Ten of Swords, you have the Page of Wands. See, I feel like you've been freed up from something. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles is the juice worth the squeeze. Something hasn't been worth it. Ten of Swords, yes, it can be a difficult ending, but the Page of Wands, he feels free. He feels free to explore his enthusiasm, right? He is the card of, he is just going on a journey that he feels good about. That's literally it. And so I think a lot of you are going to be feeling freed up, or you're going to be feeling like you have all this freedom to do the things you want to do. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Five of Wands. Yeah, again, Five of Wands, I think we're splitting off into these two worlds, which I talk about all the time. One world is a world of competition. The other one is a world of co-creation. That doesn't mean there won't be competitions in the world of co-creation. It just means that, there's a little bit more co-creative energy in that space. So I would be careful of people who are overly competitive. And maybe you have two worlds. So maybe you have one friend group or certain people that are just always competitive, and then you have other people who are willing willing to work together and be co-creative. And I would be doubling down on those co-creative experiences where like everybody wins, right? And I really feel those everybody wins types of things are what's going to work the best for people in general. With the Hierophant, you have the moon card, so there you go. I feel like you're getting blessings for your moon period that you went through. Clearly, we talked about this with the sun. I don't really like readings that go from the sun to the moon, but having said that, the kind of like the feeling I get from this is that you're just getting blessings from the moon period that you've clearly already been through. We talked about it with the sun. With the Lovers, you have the Four of Wands. Yeah, if you're meeting a person, could be the person you marry, so there you go. Some of you, I feel like, are already with a person that you could be marrying. But I also, like I said, I also feel like this is saying that if you're meeting a person, there could be marriage. This could also be marriage in business. So, again, if you're starting a business or if you're committing to a project or something like that, I feel like, I don't remember exactly what I said earlier, but I feel that I said something about like completing something. It's like that's what I was saying. I was talking about the Virgo energy, right? It's like do the things that you've been avoiding doing, right? And commit to that with the Four Wands. And I don't mean you've been avoiding these things because you don't want to do them. I just think sometimes we feel a little bit of resistance to doing something because it's just resistance, right? And so, I feel like it's saying commit to do those things. You have this needle and thread. It says a sincere wish will be granted. So definitely getting a wish granted. We see that with the star. Like I said at the beginning, I would ask for something. You have this gong. It says exciting event. A lot of excitement with that Page of Wands. I would move towards your excitement with the Page of Wands. If something makes you feel excited, it's probably the right thing to do. You have this ladder. It says climbing towards success. Yes, definitely. I feel that the whole entire reading looks like success to me. So whatever you're doing, I would keep doing it. You have this chain card. It says chain of events that will affect your life. Like more of that ladder thing, it's like when you're climbing a ladder, you're doing these steps, right? Same thing with this chain card. I feel like you are completing certain steps to get somewhere. You have this whale. It says great worry over nothing. Yeah, if you're worrying, you're probably worrying over nothing. I think everybody is worried about this. I literally say all the time that my biggest worry for everyone over the next, like from now till 2033, about 10 years, is that a lot of people are going to worry about a lot of stuff that's going on. They're going to get to 2033. They're not going to have done anything, and they're going to look back on the last 10 years, and they're just going to say, I worried about nothing. So, again, don't worry about the things that are going on. Just do what you can with what you got. But this looks really good, Libra. I love it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.